These tomatoes are cooled off after just getting out of the oven. They're still a little bit warm, but they've been roasted. And the reason we do this is we do not ever get enough at one time to make a big old pot of spaghetti sauce. So what I have right here is I've got my plastic container holding up my gallon bag. So the thing about spaghetti sauce is you don't want as much moisture in it. A lot of people cook their tomatoes all day long, and so I just roast them 10 minutes in the oven. And then what we do, if you can see right here, all the liquids come out of them, or most of it. And then they're real easy. The skin comes right off. Before we put them on the pan, we squeezed them. So most of the, there's still a few seeds in there, but not very many. And then they go right in. So it's real easy just to pull the skin off, comes right off. So you skip a step when normally you're making spaghetti sauce, is you're not having to boil the tomatoes so the skin will fall off, because here it is. Okay, so the skin's off, the tomatoes are cooked, and the liquid is already dried up. 10 minutes. And when I get 3 of these bags, that's usually enough for a canner full of spaghetti sauce. So we add our all our other ingredients like onions and garlic and oregano, and then all we have to do is can it. So we'll show you some of that tomorrow. Da-da-da-da-da-do. Everybody go serving, serving.
You got no words of wisdom to share about the sauce, Mom. Surfing USA! I know, I've been singing that. Blop.
Okay.
Are we rolling?
Okay, Miracle is filling up the spaghetti sauce jars. The jar is already warm.
That's the stopping point. Watch the little bubbles pop at the top. Yeah. The ladle's going for a swim.
Now you make sure the top of your lid, the ring, is nice and clean.
And you put your little lid on here. Make sure it's center. And then, you're not going to have this completely snug tight, but just tight enough. You're not going to be afraid to lose.
Yeah.
That's hot.
It goes in the warm. Everything's warm. The jar was warm. The sauce is warm. The lids are warm. Everything's warm.
I'm warm.
It's warm. It's warm in here. Isn't it? When you're canning, it's always a little warm.
Just gonna have enough to finish this jar. And that's after scraping the bowl clean. Just so we'll have a canner full. Close enough. There's a little bit more. Get it. That's enough to like do a whole 2 chips worth of salsa. Whack camera.
There's some in here. Can't get too close, you get steamed up. We got the jiggle here, but I want you to notice something. It's not jiggling quite like it's supposed to. See when it's hissing like that? Right there. That means it's having to let off a little bit more pressure. I will get closer. It is just over 10 pounds pressure, and this is on the 10-pound weight. So what that's telling me is a little over 10 pounds. Don't panic when this happens. It's just a little, see, it is not jiggling, it's just spewing. See it like that? So what that means is I've got it too hot, but I just had it like that. I wanted to show you. So we're going to cut it down. And it's going to take it just a few minutes to get to the jiggling spot. And I might even have to turn it back up. So I'll bring you back in just a minute when it starts jiggling the way it's supposed to. Okay, now it's pausing just a little bit, but it's not spewing. It's pausing to build up the pressure, and it'll start jiggling again in just a sec. See, there it goes. But now our pressure is back down to 10. So I turned it down a whole quarter. So I think I know mine, so I know it's in between that little thing, and right there is about right for this one and not all the way on high. And so that means right there it's cooled off a little bit too much. So look at, she's starting to build up again, and she'll start jiggling. And it's gone down just a smudge below 10, but that's okay. It's keeping its pressure. And sometimes they don't jiggle all the time. They'll jiggle and stop and jiggle and stop. So that's kind of what you're looking for. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. It has to get up to 10 pounds of pressure for it to come out, for that jiggle to happen. So before, when you saw it just spewing out, that means the pressure was too high and it was having to release the whole time. So what the jiggle means is the pressure inside the pot is up to 10 pounds, and this little weight here lets it off at 10 pounds. So you can see that it doesn't continuously jiggle the whole time. It will more once it gets heated up a little bit, but it will take little breaks. But as long as your temperature on your gauge is 10. So there it's going to go, and it'll stay pretty steady, and it won't start spewing out. See, it's getting more steady now. There it goes. And it's made to turn around like that, so don't let that ever scare you. See, it's doing a little bit more of a steady jiggle now. And that's what you're looking for. I just wanted to do a little reality check on how a farmhouse looks during canning season. So just now we got the elderberries going. So that's taking up our dining room. The other dryer is in the kitchen, ready to go, or getting ready to go. You have stuff drying in your living room. The canner is almost always on the stove, taking up a lot of room. There's always a mess where you have just put something in the dryer. The other dryer's over there, ready to get cleaned. There are jars where you just got stuff canned. There are cow milk bottles sitting everywhere because the calves got to be fed. And the saucepan where we just put the spaghetti in the canner is still there, and there's always jars in the dish drainer. And then on the back porch, there's stuff just waiting to come inside to get canned. So you see all these beautiful pictures of country kitchens and farmhouse kitchens. Here's a farmhouse kitchen. It's got canners, it's got sauce pots, it's got jars, it's got elderberry mess, it's got a canner, and it's building up pressure as we speak. Now this is real homestead, and this is what it looks like. Oh, and I forgot one more thing. The chicken buckets. They're always completely full of scrap herbs and things that go into all this canning. And the chickens have already been fed theirs today, so this has got to go out in the morning.